Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vaidehi, and I have my colleague Rajagopal here with me. We're going to go through a couple of topics with regards to HANA. So we'll try to keep it simple, considering the mix of audience here. And we'll have questions to the end. That's the plan, but if you have questions or if you figure out that something is completely amiss, please do let us know. And we'll try to address it right away. Okay, that's the life of SAP consultants for you, basically. They ask you to upgrade your software. Go ahead and read it for a second. So when you basically get into SAP, you're left with no choice. So you better get on the bandwagon and do it the way they ask you to, and you'd be better off doing it right and getting on the bandwagon early, so it makes it easier for us to lead our lives as well as our customers' lives. So basically, they don't let you go any other way than what they've decided for you. First, a couple of minutes just to talk to you about the SAP roadmap. So it's about 4 decades now, and started off with R2. And when R3 came along, it was one of the best of suite ERP products. Not for any specific reasons, but the benchmark was very low at that time. So there were not too many products to compete with. So it was easy going for SAP. And when R3 came along, their multi-currency, multilingual, and being able to run on multiple platforms made lives very easy. So in the 90s, if you were an SAP consultant, you could fly business class, have champagne, and implementation costs were at least 5 times the cost of the license cost. That was because SAP was the flagship of any ERP product. The first thing that came to mind was SAP. And as SAP started concentrating on their R3, and then they moved on to, when 2000 came along, there was this .com boom, but SAP kind of missed the bus in terms of reaching out on the web users. And then NetWeaver came along, and then mysap.com, where they tried to bring in the J2EE suite of applications. And then Business Warehouse and Data Analytics, where they brought in business objects. But by then, the cloud had set in. By 2004-05, there was a lot of traction on the cloud. While Salesforce was out there making most of the cloud, SAP was still trying to consolidate its position in terms of ERP and web products. So at that time, they started acquiring all these cloud solutions, SuccessFactors, Nakisa, and so on. So most of the products that you see around here have been acquired in the last 3 to 4 years. Earlier, they were partners with SAP, and then as SAP figured out that that was the way to go, then they started acquiring them, and then it has now become a SAP suite of products. Then after ERP, the next big product was HANA in 2010, where initially it was just introduced as a database, and then for the business warehouse solutions, and then for the business suite solutions. Go ahead to the next slide. For the business suite solutions. So first it came as more as an in-memory platform, and then when it was brought for the business warehouse, the analytics and reporting was much easier. And then it was figured that if you put business suite itself on HANA, you don't need a OLAP system and an OLTP system separately. You could combine the two. So that was the reason for putting the business suite solutions on HANA. So for implementations where you have Business Suite on HANA, there would not be any requirement of your ETL layer, your ODS layer, your analytics engine, and your calculation, your aggregates. Everything gets collapsed, and you just have your Business Suite and then the business objects. And then the latest that we are talking about is SAP Simple Finance, where the entire business data model for finance has been remapped, realigned. It has been redesigned, and it's much user-friendly. And the size of the database also becomes much smaller. So for the next 30 minutes, Rajagopal would address all of these products starting from HANA. And then as required, I would pitch in, and then possibly the two of us will take your questions.
Thank you, Vaidehi. Okay. We have been hearing about SAP HANA for quite some time as a next generation database. So what this SAP HANA is really up to? So let's have a highlight of SAP HANA, why customers should go for SAP HANA. SAP HANA is an in-memory database platform, so which has the single source of data for transaction and analytical processing. So we hear delivery team, most of them are in the crowd, so they must know about the technical part, but this will give you the overview for the other peoples as well, who is the starting point of HANA. So in the classical method of our databases, so we have segregates the transactional data and the data analytical data. So you have ERP on one database and BW on another database. So this SAP HANA, which has the capability to hold the data of OLTP and OLAP. So the business users has leverage to use the capacity and of the SAP HANA with a single architecture that simultaneously handles real-time transaction and analytics workload without compromising the performance. Since it's a single source of database, so you don't need any aggregates and indexes. So the database reads, the business users when request a queries, it goes to the application layer, then the application layer goes to a database. So these database reads contributes the high response time. So with SAP HANA, it's an increased performance. It can give you the real-time data insights. Also, we depend upon a batch process. For example, you have data on ERP and you move all these transaction data to the BW system for the analytics. So you need a lot of resources during the after office hours to move these data. But when it comes to HANA, so you don't need any additional resources to handle analytical processing as well. So this slide gives you an overview of the business logics. So all the business logics are pushed into the database. So there is no much interactions between the database and the application logics through the batch process or the database reads. So you are pushing the application logic into the database itself. So which gives leverage the customers to make use of the performance of SAP HANA. So there are a few use cases for SAP HANA.
Basically, when you go to your customer places, you can pitch in HANA in multiple scenarios. So let's basically differentiate this into two parts. One is the side-by-side scenario, and the second one is the integrated scenario. In the side-by-side scenario, your customer has his SAP solution still on a non-HANA database. So primarily, HANA is a database. SAP runs on any kind of database, and HANA is one of them. So let's assume your customer is running a SAP system which is not on HANA. So then, but he wants real-time reporting. He wants reports to be done much faster. So the first scenario where he uses HANA as a platform is he still runs SAP on a non-HANA database. Some data from the non-HANA database on which you want reporting is moved to the HANA database, which is, think of it as a black box into which data is moved. And then you run your analytics, have a data mart built over that in the HANA itself, and then you're able to do reporting on the business objects. So this would be for customers who are not yet ready to migrate their SAP solutions into HANA. The second one is where we are talking about the same kind of customer. He still has his ECC system running on a non-HANA database, but he wants some reporting done, and he also wants to build some applications on the data that he has extracted. So HANA, in this scenario, can be used as a development platform where applications are built, and then in addition to the reporting that we talked in the earlier scenario, here you can run your applications on the HANA database, and that's provided to their end users. The third scenario is where we call something called HANA accelerators. Think of scenarios like COPA controlling and in the finance area. What happens is these are some transactions that take really long to run. So in the third scenario, what SAP has done is he lets you transfer only those data that is taking extremely long into the HANA database, and you still continue to do all your processing on the SAP Business Suite. And for these processes, the data will be fetched from the HANA database. So his existing, other than the architecture changes that he has done, and in addition to the configuration that he has done, There is no change to the end user because he still runs the COPA transactions. It is just that the COPA transaction is run much faster because it fetches data from the sidecar HANA database. So those are the first three scenarios. The third one is, let's talk about a customer who does not have SAP at all. He's running multiple multiple solutions which run on a variety of databases. He can bring in an HANA appliance, and he can use the cloud solutions of HANA, which is HANA Cloud Platform, which gives you a development environment. It also gives you options to develop your applications. The BW on HANA is your typical customer who has been having a business warehouse for a very long time. He's not willing to get rid of it. He still does reporting from the business warehouse. And this business warehouse has grown into multiple terabytes, and the reporting itself takes too long. So you migrate the customer from his business suite on any other database into the HANA database. And finally, the Business One on HANA is the solution provided by SAP, where the Business One solution, which is SAP's solution, which runs directly on the HANA database. The final one, which we are now pitching to most of our customers, is the Business Suite for HANA. And we don't have to do any special kind of pitching because SAP makes it kind of mandatory. They push customers in such a way that if you go with the HANA license, your overall license cost is much lesser. So they start running ECC, CRM, SCM, the entire business suite of products on HANA. And the final one is new application development, where you bring in data from multiple sources, both structured, non-structured, from social media. All that data can be brought into the HANA database from multiple sources, and then you start building applications over that. And again, the last box that you see there, that has got nothing to do with SAP. So even if you're a non-SAP customer, you have huge volume of data that you want to do apps on, then that's the scenario that would go with. So with each of your customers, you would be able to relate which boxes they could fit in, or possibly we can bring this into their roadmap so that we can plan to work with them to get them migrated to HANA one way or the other.
Okay. Regarding the deployment options, SAP has given a wide range of options. So you can deploy your applications on-premise. For the customers who has the infrastructure already, they can take leverage of the infrastructure, and they can migrate their applications to the HANA. For example, for regulated industries like Aramco, they need all the applications to be run within their firewall. So they need a security strategy, depends upon the company. So SAP still gives the on-premise options, and you can deploy your applications to the cloud, and you can also extend your applications to the cloud. You can migrate your applications from on-premise to the cloud, and you can start patching from there, or you can extend your applications. For example, Ariba, there is a separate applications running for Ariba, so you can integrate with your on-premise solution, and still business users can take advantage of using both cloud and on-premise, which is a hybrid. So the customers can choose of their options. And we'll see about the HANA Cloud Platform and what is the Enterprise Cloud Platform in the upcoming slides. So Enterprise Cloud Platform is an in-memory cloud platform offered by SAP. So you can deploy your applications. There are different service model they have given. So for example, AWS is an infrastructure as a service. Cloud Platform has a wide range of subscriptions that we will see in the next slide. So here the SAP HANA 1. So what is SAP HANA 1? So SAP HANA 1 is the single instance running on AWS, which gives the customer flexibility and elasticity to innovate their business. SAP HANA, the applications can be consumed for productive use by the users, so you can develop and deploy your applications in the SAP HANA 1. So this SAP HANA 1 is based on your usage on a hourly basis. When it comes to the SAP HANA Cloud Platform, so you have options like you can consume only the infrastructure services, or you want to get the DB services as well, or you can have the application services as well. So infrastructure services is basically, they will give you the infrastructure of a hardware, network, and stuffs, and you can have your own applications deploy on the cloud, and you can start working as you do in the on-premise. When it comes to the DB services, they will give you the HANA platform as well, along with the infrastructure services. So then you comes to application services, where it's more focused on the platform as a service, also the software as a service. There are a few companies, they provide software as a service, for example, Blackline, Ariba, Hybris. So they have their own applications developed and running on application services, which is HANA Cloud Platform. And we'll also look at the SAP HANA Enterprise Cloud. So enterprise, so we talked about a lot of discussion going on what is enterprise in the morning. So enterprise means you not only cover SAP, but it covers the other stuffs as well, like infrastructure. So in the enterprise cloud, SAP covers the managed cloud as a service. So IaaS, platform as a service, and the software as a service. So the enterprise cloud platform gives you the managed cloud as a service. So you will get everything. So you will get the infrastructure services, you will get the database services, you will get the application services, and plus you can give the managed services to the third party as well. But with the enterprise HANA cloud, they give a subscription option of bring your own license. For example, the SAP customers who is running on SAP HANA, they have the licenses already. So if we gonna subscribe the HANA Enterprise Cloud, so what they can do with the existing licenses? So the SAP gives the option of bring your own license, whether you can subscribe directly the entire MCAS from them, or just access the infrastructure, and you can bring your license and manage your applications in the cloud. So when we talk about the architecture of the cloud, with this single common architecture, you can see the applications running in the public cloud, which is a HR, sales and services. For sales and services, SAP has procured Hybris and C4C. Their applications running on HEC. They are taking the leverage and the advantages of HEC. For finance, we have a Blackline, and for procurement, we have Ariba. For HR, SuccessFactor. So they provide the best solutions. SAP HEC, as I said, is a fully managed cloud that offers elasticity and flexibility with a subscription-based pricing, making it easy access for the companies. We have been talking about technical industry, automotive industry, the other industries taking advantages of SAP HANA. So what about the other industries? So India is now leading fashionate world. So bestseller. So they are one of the best rising fashion industry. So how the HEC helped them to innovate their business in terms of fashion. So the data they collect from the Twitter, the data they collect from the social network. For example, we have been talking in the other session saying a few girls looking for a specific type of material, they go and they choose, they add to the cart, and till buying. So before buy, they just walk out. So they don't buy. But these data are captured and sent to the company for their analysis, and they will give you the real-time offerings, and these statistical data, they use it to based upon the culture and based upon the demand, they will produce it. So there is a small video of a testimonial from Vineet Gautam. So he is the CEO of Bestseller. So let's hear how it helped them to innovate their fashion industry. Let's make everyone from sleep.
Bestseller is a Danish fashion house. They have about 4,500 stores. We are present in about 45 countries. Our business is majorly wholesale, but we also run our retail stores. So we have about 400 retail stores.
There were so many systems which had grown and became monster over a period of time. India was growing at a huge rate. We were expanding like crazy. We were going on adding new stores. We were going on adding new businesses. We added shop-in-shop business. We added the online channel, and over a period of time, it was just becoming too difficult for us to continue working like that.
India is a mixture of 27 states, and each state is different in terms of laws, processes. It's so different in terms of reconciliation, in terms of returns which you have to file with the authorities.
And hence we decided that we should carve out the systems for India, taking care of the business needs for India. And the idea of moving on to a real-time business scenario was retail, the way how we've been growing.
We're very excited because it will bring us more real-time data analytics. And that was the business case for going live on HANA. I think our biggest opportunity is about scalability, is about faster decision making. It's about realigning our processes to be faster to deliver new products to our customers and have agility in our organization to be able to adapt as per customers' needs.
The idea is to scale up more in terms of the business knowledge, ensure that IT becomes a part of business rather than becoming a cost center only. The HANA Enterprise Cloud simplifies my life in terms of focusing more on my job of getting my processes to run more seamlessly and smoother from the end user perspective.
The idea of implementing the next level of BI is to get better forecasting, because our business is about bringing new inventory, marking it down quickly, and getting it out of our flow so that we can bring the next new style in. I think the system should give us that insights.
SAP colleagues were very, very efficient. They did a great job in terms of helping us out because it was a complex situation for us, but we succeeded in the end. So we went live and it was a huge celebration for us. IT sits within business. It is the whole framework on which the business needs to excel. For us, the idea is to create a complete retail system which can be used anywhere in the world.
A partner like SAP will definitely help us because the system is going to become smarter, and I think it will overall benefit us in the next league of our growth. SAP helps Bestseller India run better.
The other success factors of the SAP HANA Cloud is their data centers. So they have data centers in multiple places across the globe. A few data centers, they have their own data centers, and a few they have with the partners, and a few yet to, they are planning and yet to release to the customers. And since it is a fully managed private cloud, so it has the flexibility to adopt the partial subscription as well. And it gives you the enterprise-grade security, so which gives the best-class security services to the customers to secure their own private application data. So also it unleashed the next-generation applications. The enterprise cloud components SAP gives 99.5% of combined hardware, database, and application uptime. So they guarantee this percentage. And the data center availability is 100%, and the power capability is 100%. So they give the customer support for 24/7. And if the customer desired to migrate to enterprise cloud, SAP will guide you through the entire journey till you're landed and you're secure your applications. So they will give you support for the assessment, onboarding migrations, and cloud infrastructure, and they will also give the application management. So what is HANA development platform? In classical case, for example, if we want to install ERP systems, we install on HANA database, and you need a platform to develop applications. For example, you need an ABAP instance or a Java instance. But the HANA development platform there is an integrated part of, we call it as XS. So this is injected into the HANA database, and you don't need a separate instance. You need to install separately on a server. So with this logic, so you reduce a lot of database reads, so which uses the capacity and flexibility of SAP HANA. So there is a slide which shows the collaboration. For example, collaboration, we have seen an example which is the bestseller, and there are also a few analytics and integration services they provide due to with the SAP HANA application services. So this picture shows the difference between the classic application server layers and the HANA native applications. You have the SQL and application logic separated in the usual methods. But in HANA native applications, like you have the application logic and the database logic in the same layer, and you can still develop native applications. This is just an server-side Java codes or the HTML, or it also supports the .NET framework. You can develop applications on other than SAP also. So what is S4 HANA? I mean, Vaidehi has already elaborated about this. I'll just talk about the reimagined data models. So, for example, you have a 7.1 TB of data of ERP data on any database. So this HANA will help you to reduce the data footprint of this massive amount of data. After housekeeping and few reconciliations, ERP on HANA will reduce the database size to 1.8 TB, from 7.1 TB to 1.8 TB. After simplification, the S4 HANA, the same amount of applications, the same amount of data, but the disk space you occupy is just 0.8 TB. So you are reducing the total footprint from 7.1 TB to 0.8 TB. So this is the data. They are simplifying the data footprints.
Now basically what S4 HANA is, you're able to, they've redefined all their data structures, and your configuration becomes much simpler. Aggregates are not stored, so the data that you enter, just say if you're entering around 20 tables, data into 20 tables, now it's about 2 or 3 tables. So overall, the data size that's stored is much lesser. And because the whole thing runs on HANA, you're able to calculate the aggregates on the fly, and you're able to report. And all your screens for the end users, it's being presented on Fiori, so it's much easier. And no more configuration. You don't have to go to your SPRO. You have guided configuration, wizard-based configuration. So it just walks you through one step after the other. So overall implementation time is also much lesser when compared to a regular ECC implementation. So you could pitch this in both for your new customers. By default, they would go on S4 HANA, where the implementation timeline is much lesser. Whereas for your installed database, if they are not on HANA yet, you first bring them to HANA and then install something called an innovation pack for Simple Finance. And if they're already on HANA, just deploy the innovation pack and redefine their finance processes. So real-time, no more batch processing is required. It's very flexible, and data size is much smaller, no more aggregates. Simple collaboration in terms of connecting to business and social networks. And you have multiple choice of deployments. It's available both on the cloud and on-premise. So S4, primarily SAP, they did R3 and then S4, but the 4 stands for instant insight into your data. You get an intuitive user experience. It's flexible and non-disruptive, so you're able to run both hybrid on cloud and on-premise models. And then it has 62 country versions at this time, and it also addresses 25 industries. So these are some of the benefits by going into S4HANA for your net new customers. If they plan to go with S4HANA, then these are the parameters that have been benchmarked on what benefits it brings to the customers. So more on the finance, month-end closing, the COPA, the balance sheets, all that runs much faster. And batch processing would not be required because you're able to do the calculations on the fly. And you can finish your financial month-end close much sooner.
Not only finance, the other logistics, they by 2025, they want to give you the complete, full-featured S4HANA. And I'll use an example of material requirement planning. So in the classic database, if you want to run an MRP, it does not depend on the real-time data. So you need to run a batch process, and you will not get complete insight of what is the stock available now. So based on that, you need to provide in the MRP will give you the purchase proposal. This will be converted to the purchase request. Then someone will create the purchase order. So with this SAP HANA, it gives you the predictive analysis, and it gives you the dynamic simulation. Which helps you to innovate your business. This an example video. It's a demo of integrating the S-Finance plus the S-Logistics, which show you the capacity of the SAP HANA. So finance can be so effective if the data is accurate and real-time integration with the other functions. So this demo is on the SAP TechEd, so which gives. Close one.
When I log on, you will see then a very clear and easy to understand menu structure using the SAP Fiori user interface. In this case, I'm an order fulfillment clerk, so I'm responsible for making sure all of the orders inside my organization go out without any problems. I already have down here all of the functionality that I could possibly need for that. But obviously, if my job is to get the logistics out the door, I need to be aware if there are any problems. And up here, I can see inside the Fiori tile that we have some issues. So I'm going to drill down and see what those issues are. One data model, all of that information is coming in here. Now you'll see then the one data model allows me to look at this in any dimension I want to. At the moment, I'm looking at it by shipping point. So I can see along the bottom here, sales organization at the bottom here, the different sales organizations that currently are having problems. But if I want to take a different perspective of that, I can then simply say, I don't want to see it by sales organization, I want to see it by customer. And what will happen now, the system will automatically take all the information and show it to me here now by customer. Now this is something that you could never do in your old system. What we're doing is we're showing the financial implication of the sale here on this axis, along with the logistic information about how many days outstanding along this. And that's something that was very difficult to do in previous systems, in any system. But now, thanks to that one data model, I can drill down and have a look at all of the sales orders related to this current customer at the moment now and understand exactly what's going on, not only from a logistical perspective, but also from a financial perspective. And that's the power of S logistics, of S4HANA, bringing all of that information together on the one data model. Back to you, Ben. Thank you.